All right, we're back for episode number 7 of the JT Puck Talk podcast. This episode is being recorded on Friday, March 29th. As always, I'm Thomas Vesio, and alongside me is...
It's Justin Walters, who is incredibly sick.
Yeah, so we told ourselves before the podcast that I was going to take much of the load today, but I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see how it goes. So
well, let's hope you do, because if I do, it's going to sound like utter garbage. I apologize to everybody.
Yeah, we don't want to hear the coughing every 2 seconds.
Nope.
All right, so our first topic of the day is going to be a player that's just entered the National Hockey League. He's from Orlando, Florida, United States. His name is Quinn Hughes. He made his NHL debut for the Vancouver Canucks yesterday, and wow, did he look good. I mean, I don't know if you watched the game, Justin, but man, this kid, he looked very skilled out there.
You know, I only watched the highlights of the game. I wasn't actually able to watch the game itself, but he did. He looked like a top 4 defenseman. He was dynamic. He was good with the puck. He moved it well. He's a great skater. We all knew that. We all knew he had NHL skating when he got drafted, but he's definitely improved on his puck handling skills, his hockey IQ. And he wasn't also afraid to get in the corners and battle for some pucks against some NHL quality players. So I was really impressed by that. And it makes you wonder why. Oh man, the name of the defenseman is slipping me. The defenseman that the Canucks drafted a couple years ago.
Olli
Juolevi. Quinn Hughes and Olli Juolevi were not drafted far apart from each other in their own respective drafts, all top 10 picks.
Mm-hmm.
And Quinn Hughes just seems like he's worlds above him. Right now, Quinn Hughes looks like he's going to be a top 4 defenseman in the NHL as of next year. He's a dynamic player. I loved his game last night.
Yeah, his assist wasn't even an ordinary assist. He banked it off the net like McDavid does and passed it to Besser, and Besser snipped it. So that was actually a really good debut. And he shot in the shootout, second round in the shootout, and he didn't score, but that's pretty confident for the coach to put him out there.
Yeah, it's great, morale booster for a young kid, obviously, right? It's your first game, you get a tough shootout, and you're shooting second. It's I think Vancouver 100% expects him to be in the lineup for the entire year next year, and him getting in these games right now it's crucial. He's not going to hit the 9-game mark. He's not going to burn a year off his deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a great move by the Canucks here to get him some games, get him ready for next year, to see what it's all about, and see what he can do in a full season in the NHL next year.
Yeah, and he's only going to get better because it's Quinn Hughes, and he's got a lot of potential left. So good on the Canucks for calling him up, and good on Quinn Hughes on his debut.
Wow, he's young and has potential. Great analysis.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's every young player. So next topic, we're talking about a team in the same Pacific Division as the Vancouver Canucks, and this team's not doing good, and they're in a playoff spot. I think we all know who that team is. It's the San Jose Sharks. They're on a 7-game losing streak, and that is not good at all because they're not going to catch Calgary anymore. I don't think there's a chance anymore. And I'm just going to run through the games that they've lost through this 7-game losing streak. 4-2 loss versus the Florida Panthers, who are not in the playoffs. 4-2 loss versus the Nashville Predators. Okay, that's a hard team. 7-3 loss versus Vegas. 4-2 loss versus the Kings, not in the playoffs. 4-3 overtime loss versus Anaheim, not in the playoffs. 3-2 loss versus Detroit, not even close to the playoffs. And 5-4 loss last night to the Chicago Blackhawks. So, yeah, it's got to be tough in San Jose, man. I know Pavelski's been out for the last 5. Carlson's been out for who knows how long, so that doesn't help through the losing streak. But, man, San Jose's got to get back on their game.
The thing is, the Sharks can lose 4 or 5 players, and they're still way better than some of those teams. I mean, how do you lose 3-2 to Detroit? I think both those teams didn't get the result they wanted. Why would Detroit want to win right now? They're trying to get a good draft pick. San Jose's trying to win because they're in the playoffs, and both teams failed. I don't know. I watched their games. I watched the game against Detroit a little bit because my roommate watches the Red Wings. They look out of sorts. They don't know where each other is on the ice. The goalie isn't making the saves that need to be made. Martin Jones has not been incredible by any standards this year. He struggled quite a bit. Yeah, we can say, okay, losing Erik Karlsson, it hurts. You guys have been playing the past couple of years without Erik Karlsson, and you've still been a dynamic force. You don't need Erik Karlsson to be a great team. He just makes you a better team. but you should be rolling over teams like Detroit.
They most certainly better be rolling over teams like Detroit, especially in the position San Jose's in, and especially in the position Detroit's in. Detroit's not winning anytime soon, and San Jose's trying to win their first cup in franchise history. Thomas Hertl has 34 goals this year, which is unbelievable. They have a guy in Brent Burns who's going to be up for the Norris at the end of the year, I think, in my opinion. I don't think he'll win it, but he'll be up for sure. He's a point per game. Logan Couture has been unreal this year, 66 points in 76 games. Pavelski has been injured the last 5 games, as I mentioned, but has 37 goals, which is unbelievable. Timo Meier has been a great surprise. Evander Kane's been the acquisition he's been. Joe Thornton, at the age he has 47 points in 68 games. He's on an expiring contract, but with all the injuries and all the buzz around Joe Thornton, he's been really good for the San Jose Sharks this year. And Erik Karlsson has been injured, and they need better goaltending from Martin Jones. But yeah, they're probably looking at Vegas for sure in the playoffs.
They're kind of like the Leafs. They have about a week and a half now, figure their shit out, and be okay for the playoffs. They're basically destined for a matchup with the Vegas Golden Knights anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the Leafs in Boston right now. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and it looks like it's going to be San Jose, Vegas. And Vegas is a tough team. They got to be ready for Vegas. And right now, they're not ready for Vegas.
Well, the one positive you could take out of this is they're losing this, and they'd rather lose now than in the playoffs like this. Like they'd rather lose now instead of losing 4 straight to Vegas in a sweep. But yeah, like you said, they got to be ready for Vegas because Vegas made a lot of moves and they're really good. And they have probably one of the best goalies in the National Hockey League this year, Marc-Andre Fleury. And Martin Jones has not been one of the best in the league because he has an .896 save percentage and a 2.95 goals against average. He has a good record, don't get me wrong, but his other goalie stats are not very good.
Yeah, but like the record can be kind of foggy if you're playing on a good team, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So it's tough to say. But there's another team that's also struggling just as much as the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah.
And that's our team.
Yeah.
We're not going to spend too much time on this, but they've been playing better since our last. We talked about this a little bit in the last podcast. The Leafs are giving up way too many goals. Like, what the heck are they doing? Since then, I think Freddie's played a little better. He's not up to where he should be. He's played better. The team itself has been playing a lot better, but it's great. You can outshoot the team a lot. You can have a lot of offensive zone time. It's when the other team starts to cycle, we break down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. If we get 30 shots in 2 periods, they can only have 12, but if 6 of those are high-scoring chances, it doesn't really help. So the Leafs are playing with a lot more speed than they were a week ago. They're playing with a lot more tenacity than they were a week ago, and I like the way that they're moving, and I like the direction they're heading. But until they get some help on defense, having Hull and Marincin and Oshiganoff, that's not going to work. Having 2 of those 3 guys as on your defensive lineup, it's not working. It's just not. It's Kelly Rosen, I think, is going to get a call up this week.
I don't know what game he's going to be in.
I'm hoping against Ottawa, honestly.
Really? Well, they want to get into a game this weekend. I think the Marlies play tonight or tomorrow. So
yeah, I know.
I don't know.
And then Dermott's probably going to be back sometime next week. Gardner, I don't think Gardner's going to play a game in the regular season, but I could see him being back for game 1.
I hope he doesn't play a game because you don't want to rush the injury, especially with the back spasms he's having.
Exactly, right? So he's getting closer. The Leafs don't play a playoff game, I think, till 13 days because it looks like we're going to be starting in Boston. The playoffs start on Wednesday, and Boston Gardens has another commitment on Wednesday. So we can't start till Thursday.
Yep.
Unless we somehow get home ice.
Yeah, that's a laughable one. But
we can cross our fingers on that one, but
I don't see them getting home ice, but I don't really like. To me, home ice is you got to win a series no matter where away from home. Anyways, doesn't matter about home ice to me. Like home ice is just starting at home, starting off with a good foot, and then in the game 7. Really, I mean, the Leafs have broken down in game 7 in Boston 2 times already, and obviously home ice would have been nice for a game 7 because they wouldn't have broke down in Boston over and over again, but I don't think it's an excuse. I mean, you're in the NHL. I think you have to win a series away, as I just said. And with the guys that the Leafs have and who they brought in, like Tavares, I think they have enough the skills there to beat Boston, but
Oh, absolutely.
the depth is, I don't know. It's tough to analyze the depth for the Boston Bruins and the Leafs because Boston's playing amazing right now.
Yeah, I would agree with you. When it comes to like home ice, obviously you prefer it.
Yeah.
I would prefer to start game one at Scotiabank, but I'm not losing sleep if we don't.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like we will. And yeah, I'm not losing sleep over it. Like it sucks. It's not ideal, but you take them as they come, right? So we'll start game one in Boston. Looks like, and we'll try to win it. So it's a great analysis by me there, but that's what it is. It's
well, no, yeah, there's not much to it besides what you said.
Exactly. All right, moving on because we talked about Leafs every week and people are getting annoyed.
I guess
the NHL for the first time since like 2008 had two players on the same team hit 100 points in a single season. How good is that team? Is it Pittsburgh? Did Malkin Crosby? Nah, not quite.
No.
Is it Calgary? Did Monahan and Gaudreau do something good? No, it's not. It's it's got to be Winnipeg. Winnipeg's got a lot of. No, it's not.
It's not them. No,
not
even close.
Martin or Tavares, they're close, but it's not them either. It's actually Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and if I'm correct, let me check the standings here. Oh boy.
Yeah, they play in the Oilers, I think.
No. Yeah. That's good. The Oilers have two players. That's good.
They don't have a team. They have two players.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Get two players on that team. That's good.
You seem really pissed at this.
I'm just frustrated that you're wasting two amazing players, and you can't build anything around them. That was a voice crack and a half, but anything. Like, you just can't do it. That team is so screwed with the cap, so screwed with the players they have. Besides Nugent Hopkins is the only other player either of those guys would like playing with on that team.
Yeah, it's honestly like, I don't know. We always talk about the Oilers, and it's the same. We come to the same conclusion. There's two players on the team, and the rest of the team's a bunch of nobodies.
Nugent Hopkins is a nobody. I'm not going to call Nugent Hopkins a nobody.
I understand that, but Draisaitl and McDavid are the two best players on that team for sure.
Oh, by far.
And they can't, like you said, they can't build anything around it with the cap situation they're in, with the contracts they have on that team. Mikko Koskinen. Peter Chiarelli screwed them with all those deals. He traded Hall for Larson. We could talk about that and whatnot, but yeah, the Oilers are not looking good. But the stat, Connor and Leon are the first teammates with 100 points each since Ovechkin and Backstrom in 2009-2010. And first Oilers duo to hit the century mark together since Curry and Carson in 1988 and 89. So that's actually a really impressive stat, but again,
well, I said Crosby Malkin, so I apologize on that one. But yeah, I mean, what usually when you have 200-point getters, your team's good. And this is just not. So I hope they feel good about the accomplishment. Congratulations, you two. You guys are good players. You play on a team of children.
Yeah, and two have 215 points combined with each other. And Draisaitl is 3 shy of 50 goals, which is an incredible accomplishment. But like Connor McDavid said in an interview, like, whatever. Like, I don't really care about passing last year's total. Like, they'd rather be in the playoffs. But
as Connor McDavid once famously said, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's another tweet that kind of caught the hockey world by storm, and I think Don Cherry's clapping in his seat somewhere. And it was saying that no matter what the result was of yesterday's game against the Washington Capitals, that would be the last storm surge of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And just a complete round of applause for that team for doing what they did. But I get it. It's coming to playoff time now, and you got to get really ready. You got to get focused. And I agree with the timing 100%. But the way that they handled the entire thing brought some energy back to Carolina, brought some hockey
Fans,
pat.
yeah.
You honestly probably got tons of fans who are young children because of what you did. You're growing the game in Carolina. How is that bad? And people who are old-time fashion hockey players will say what they want to say, but you can't argue that it grows the sport there. And it's too bad they didn't win last night.
Yeah, they lost 3-2.
They didn't get their last storm surge. But maybe I'll be back next year. Who knows? But they know what they did, like just Captain Justin Williams said. And they did a good job at it, 100%.
They brought fun back to hockey. I mean, it was
They
fun
did.
going on Twitter, scrolling through Twitter, and at the end of the game, you just see different celebration like duck hunting, fishing,
Yeah,
bowling.
they got really creative near the end. I love that basketball one. Like they got creative near the
Yeah,
end.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah, no.
I liked it, but I mean, going to playoff time, you got to be serious. I mean, it's playoffs. I mean, you're not going to make a mockery of yourself just doing chants and thing, even though if you don't win a
Yeah,
series.
I think they knew that it would have to end for the playoffs, and it's a week.
Yeah.
It's about a week left till the season ends. So I think it was a good time to do it. And I mean, just good on them. I don't think that they should be ashamed or embarrassed by what they did. I think they want to
Not at
remember
all.
that.
Yeah.
And if they want to bring it back next year, I ain't complain.
Like, did you like it? I liked it. I liked it.
I did. I liked it too. I liked the energy it brought. Nobody would leave their seats after the final whistle. They stayed for the storm surge. It was incredible, really, and it definitely has been probably inspired a younger generation of Carolina Hurricanes fans from it. So, really good on them. Really good on them. So, I'm proud of it. But and last little thing we're gonna bring up here quickly is obviously last night the Washington Capitals clinched a playoff spot with that win against Carolina, and that's now their fifth straight playoff appearance. I don't quite remember what year they missed and why they missed, but they missed. And they're gonna go try to repeat. I mean, it's around when we come back next week and we talk. There's gonna be a ton of teams that have clinched by then, just because it's getting right down to the nitty gritty. We basically know most of the playoffs. I think there's one wild card spot up for grabs. Well, there's two wild card spots, but 2 out of the 3 teams in the East are going to get it. It's kind of down to Carolina, Columbus, and Montreal. 2 of those 3 teams are going to get it, and one's going to miss. Who knows? In the West, it's kind of down to like Colorado.
4 teams, yeah.
Colorado, Arizona's there, Dallas is there, and Minnesota's there. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But it's kind of all down to those teams. We're going to basically all the other teams will have clinched by this time next week. And it's just going to be down to those couple teams. So that means it makes it interesting. The Leafs play Montreal the last game of the season. It'd be great if that's a must-win for Montreal. It'd be great to see the energy there. So,
especially versus the Leafs at the Bell Center.
Yeah,
that'll be rocking. Yeah, like we talked about the Capitals. I just searched it up. They didn't make the playoffs in 2013-14, and this is their 5th straight appearance, and they're looking for another cup. But the Pittsburgh Penguins want revenge on them, and they're probably going to play each other in the second round.
Most likely. They seem to every year. But
yeah. And I don't know if the Caps do it again, but
I don't know. I think Carolina can give teams a run for their money. If Columbus can figure this shit out, they look like they're good enough to give a team a run for their money. They're just not playing like it, but they have the roster to do it. So we'll have to see. If Columbus misses the playoffs, though, Jarmo Kekalainen is screwed.
You were going to say something else there. I know that.
No, I'm a holy child. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you all for listening. I appreciate you guys suffering through my probably terrible voice and occasional coughs. But I was toughening out and gonna do it for you guys. But I would be lying if I said it wasn't easy. I felt better. I'm gonna go back, probably take a nap. Before tonight, I got to work tonight, so great. But and for everything else, thank you all for listening to the podcast. This has been the JT Puck Talk podcast, episode 7. Next week, we're going to have a lot more stuff to talk about the playoffs. I don't know if it'll be an exact playoff preview because we won't know the exact matches. Mm-hmm. But we'll get you guys that before the playoffs, probably in between the last game of the season and the start of the playoffs. We'll find a time to do that and get it to you guys. Next week, we'll have a lineup of stuff to talk about. Who knows? Hockey's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. But thank you all for listening. Episode 7, JT Puck Talk Podcast. And for Thomas Vesio and myself, we all thank you again for listening, and we will catch you all next time.